Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Monday. Happy motivation time. It's your boy Mario, the 3M's. Monday, Mario Motivation. Time for another episode of From Grateful to Greatness. Not sure who I just slapped there. Every episode starts off with me being grateful, so I am grateful for my wife, my family, my friends, all of you who follow me on social media, everybody who takes the time to watch these videos, and God and the universe for allowing your boy another day on this planet to talk to you. And as you can see, I got my hat on because I'm in the bipolar vortex and it's -4 degrees outside. So, I don't have a studio, that's why we're doing the video in the car, and it's a little cold, but that's okay. We do what we gotta do to succeed, right? And that is probably a good segue into the point of today's video, my friends. You saw the title, Check Your Ego. Check your ego, check your pride, check that arrogance. And what I mean by that is, I'm talking about when you decide to go after a dream, right? Or you set this big goal. You want to lose weight, you want to quit smoking, you want to be a fucking circus clown, whatever it is you want to do, right? You set this goal, but you don't take the time to see how people who succeeded with that goal in the past did it. You just think you're going to come up with this idea and you're just going to make it happen. It'll figure itself out, right? Man, one of the things, blah, 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 that's what happens when you don't edit. One of the things that drives me the craziest about people who want to go after a dream, but, this is one of those pet peeves of mine, man. It's like, you got information overload these days, and the blueprints to succeed if you are a student, and I don't mean in school, I mean of life, of people. If you truly want to succeed, the blueprints to succeed are fucking everywhere, and they're free now. They're free because of the internet, YouTube, Google. You can literally research every single person who's ever lived and figure out what they did to become who they were. Listen, we sit here and we talk, right? You admire these people, right? You see these memes on Facebook or Instagram and you click the like button, right? These motivational thoughts. You read them, you look at it, you're like, oh, that's cool, and then you move on with your day. And you wonder why you're still where you are. You wonder why you have never actually achieved a big goal in your life. It's because the blueprints are being fed to you every single day and you don't pay attention to them. You don't actually listen to what they say, and not just listen, but actually put those practices into play in your daily life. I found out that almost every big time successful person that I have looked up to in my life gets up early as hell every day, and they don't have to. I don't have to either. But I started doing it. I started getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day because Dwayne Johnson does it, because Eric Thomas does it, because Michael Jordan did it. I don't know if he still does. I looked at these people and I said, man, I'm aspiring to get to that level. And I don't mean I want to be them. I want to be on their level. I want to be where they are. I don't want to work an average job and be an average guy the rest of my life. I want my mom to be okay. I want my family to be okay. I want my wife to be well off and live good and not have to bust her ass forever. Okay, so how do I do that, right? When I tried to lose weight and learn about fitness, I picked up books. I picked up magazines. I watched videos. I learned how do people do this. But I also knew that success principles, even if your methods vary, success principles are pretty much universal. Right? Determination, focus, patience, persistence, consistency, all that stuff is universal. So it doesn't matter what you want to do. As long as you apply those principles to what you want to do, you'll succeed. But you can't do that if you're too egotistical and too prideful to accept other people's teachings, okay? And I'm going to give you guys a real life example of that. My father came from Italy when he was 16, but he started in construction when he was fucking 8 years old, okay? 8. And he lived in poverty, basically. They were poor, really, really poor. So here this guy never went to school, comes to America, works his ass off, works for a company, then decides to start his own company and becomes pretty damn well off. And by the time that he died, he had gone on multiple trips. He had a beautiful home. He had everything he could ever wanted, and his family and his wife were completely set. okay? How does a man who has no education, no real discernible talent, make that kind of a life, right? I had this every day, and I squandered it, man, because I was too egotistical to realize that I could have asked him questions every day, but my pride didn't want to ask my dad questions, right? I wanted to figure it out on my own. I wanted to be out of his shadow and all that bullshit. And now, man, I dread it every day because I could have literally asked him a question every day about how, I don't care about the money part. I don't give a shit about how you got rich. I want to know, how did you find the mental toughness to persevere every single day when you were broke? When you didn't have shit? How did you find that? That's what I wanted to know about Dwayne Johnson. I wanted to know how a man with $7 in his pocket became the highest sought after actor in Hollywood today. I want to know how a guy like Eric Thomas went from being homeless, eating out of garbage, to the most sought after, probably besides Tony Robbins, he's the most sought after motivational speaker on the planet, right? How did Oprah go from being a person who people told was not pretty enough to be on TV to one of the richest TV personalities of all time? How did they do that? How did I know how I did this, right? But I'm telling you, I'm not cocky enough to think I don't need to learn from other people who are way more successful than I am right now. But honestly, to give you a real life example, you know how many people will tell you that quitting smoking and losing weight at the same time is impossible, and I did it? And I'm not saying that shit to brag, but I did it. I quit smoking and lost weight at the same time. How the hell did I do it? Those success principles are universal, man. All of them. The bottom line is you don't need to be talented. You don't need to be beautiful. You don't need to be liked. You don't need to be any of that shit. All you need to do is exercise this bad boy right here. That's what you need to do. That's it. That's the secret. But honestly, you're not going to learn the kind of tips and techniques and routines that foster success unless you start to freaking open your mind and not be so egotistical. You need to read. You want to be a guitar player? Read about Jimi Hendrix, man. You want to direct movies? Read about Steven Spielberg. I don't even care if you're a fan of theirs. Just don't be egotistical. Don't be so prideful that you don't think you have something to learn from other people who have gone beyond what you're doing right now. That's the message today, guys. Check your ego at the door when you start chasing your dreams. Learn from people who have done it before you and that have surpassed you at the current moment. That's the message for today, guys, all right? Pay attention, listen up. I kind of know what I'm talking about. I'm not a genius, but I got some good ideas. And also I wanted to say two things. One, I'm not just on social media to sell books and shit, guys. So if you ever need to talk, if you ever want to vent, if you ever need some advice, hit me up. Message me. I'm here. I'm not a life coach, but you know what? I'm down to help you out if I can, all right? But just disclaimer, expect honesty. I'm not going to bullshit you about anything. Second thing, if you think this message can help anybody, you know what? Like it, share it, subscribe on YouTube, please, all that good stuff. I ain't getting paid for this, but I know this message can help people, so that's what I'm doing, all right? And as always, all you need is a start and some heart. Peace.